Today we talk about the new phone policy that was established at the beginning of this quarter.
I am so hyper-focused on making this the best school it can possibly be.
We also explore the art of individual filmmakers in the Yes Fest
I would
event.
say that without independent films and short stories, there are many everyday and important stories that would go untold.
All that and more on Torch TV. Welcome back to Torch TV. I'm your host, Drew Cordray, and alongside me is Kylie Best. How have you been, Kylie?
Good, how about you?
I've been pretty good. Have you been enjoying the new Fortnite season?
Yeah, but it'll be sad to see the OG map go.
Yeah, it will be. And you go to South Decatur, right, Kylie?
Yeah, I go to South Decatur, but I come here every single day for radio and TV.
And at South Decatur, do you guys have a phone policy?
No, we don't, but East does, and that's our top story. After fall break, East introduced an updated phone policy to the school. Dr. Parsons' teachers and faculty have been working hard to maintain these new rules. We sat down with Dr. Parsons to find out more why this policy is being implemented within East.
Being a new principal here at East, Dr. Parsons has already been making changes, lanyards being a big change for those who attend East, North, and C4 classes.
Lanyards were like, that was the big change across all high schools, and it's new. Like, no one ever had a lanyard before, so anytime you do something new, it's difficult. But I genuinely believe the students here have been outstanding. I always say every day 99% of everyone is doing a phenomenal job with it. It allows us to keep kids safe, and even though it's kind of hard to understand, it is something helpful to know that person is a student, what grade they're in. It's a different feel whether I see a kid walking through a hall during lunch and they have an orange or red lanyard, right? I'm supposed to be in places and seniors can be out for lunch and have more freedom. It's been a huge plus. Sometimes it's a hard learning curve for people.
Break, Dr. Parsons reintroduced the policy. These new rules are hard to miss. Teachers are reminding and helping students to keep their phones away as it can become a distraction from schoolwork.
And a lot of people have said, well, why don't you wait until the school year? I believe people are inherently they have to make changes at a moment's notice. Down, kids know, and I think adults know too. There's a place for everything. I'm happy students have fun. I think it's probably the greatest invention of the 21st century is the smartphone. I recognize, I'm glad you all have it. But there's a responsibility to the process too. And you say now. Well, cell phones were never supposed to be out to begin with. I think we just had a bit of a slippery slope that's down where it's been allowed and where someone is teaching, we're on social media and distractions occur. And my thought process is, why now? Because it's the right thing to do. And I think we've been very straightforward with my video I shared to everyone and the outline. And I think the number one thing is we don't want your phones. We're not here to take your phones. We have no desire to have your phones. What I desire is to have your attention in the classroom. What I desire is for you to become the best individual you can be so you achieve your dreams on whatever that is after high school. I don't want you to sit back and say, I wish my teachers would have maybe stayed a little bit more attention in Algebra 2 so I could have taken trigonometry, so I could have taken pre-cal, so I could have gone through that process. And if we can just remove some of those distractions and give each kid the opportunity that they get to choose on if they chase their dreams. They get to choose if they want to be successful. But I want to put them in the environment that they can make that choice.
Students have been doing a great job so far keeping phones away during educational time. We want to remind students to be mindful of where this policy is coming from and why these rules have been reintroduced.
The East Choir's monthly bake sale will be this week, November 13th to 17th, during both lunches. All items are $2. Please come and get some yummy treats and support the choirs. The East Theater Department presents Chicago, the musical, Teen Edition on November 17th and 18th at 7 p.m. and November 19th at 2:30 p.m. Online tickets may be purchased until 12 hours before the performance time. To get to the website, scan the QR code on flyers around the school. Tickets may also be purchased at the door 30 minutes before the curtain for each show. Join Coach Jerome Wood and Coach Kareem Ash as they host a call-out meeting for anyone interested in track and field for the spring 2024 season. The meeting will take place today, starting at 3:30 p.m. in the Commons.
Now we head over to Dirt Crater with the rest of this week's weather.
Thanks, Kylie. Today's weather, we're expecting mostly sunny skies with a high of 63 and a low of 34. And then for Wednesday, we'll be looking at temps reaching a high near 66 with a low of 38. Lastly, on Thursday, we'll be having a high of 66 and a low of 50. That's all for today's weather. Now back over to the desk.
We have a new segment to debut today. East Media, in collaboration with the C4 nursing class, will produce a monthly medical update.
These updates will be given by C4 nursing students from East, North, and New Tech in order to keep viewers informed with credible information in the medical world. Here are C4 pre-nursing students, Kylie and Katie, with more.
The influenza, which is commonly known as the flu, is a contagious respiratory illness that can infect the nose, throat, and lungs. People 65 and older, young children, and people with certain health conditions are at a higher risk for the serious flu complications.
Depending on which strain of the virus are common that year and the number of people who get vaccinated, infection rates vary. Although the seasonal flu epidemic occurs every year, there are simple precautions that everyone should take to keep from getting sick.
Washing your hands, avoiding close contact with people who are sick, covering your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing.
Avoid touching your mouth and nose to reduce the chance for germs to enter your body through open areas. Stay home when you're feeling sick, and most important, get vaccinated.
There are many myths made up about the flu and the flu vaccine, like
the flu vaccine can give me the flu.
It's impossible to get the flu from a flu shot, but your body may present nausea, headaches, or fatigue as a normal reaction when responding to the flu vaccine.
The flu vaccine can cause severe side effects.
Soreness, redness, swelling, low-grade fever, nausea, muscle aches, and fatigue are all normal symptoms after receiving the vaccine.
I had the vaccine, but I still got the flu, so it doesn't work.
The vaccine works to introduce an inactive form of the virus to your body, so if you contract the flu, you can fight it off quicker and lessen the symptoms.
Now that you know more about the flu, make sure you take those precautionary measures to avoid getting sick this winter. I'm Katie.
And I'm Kylie. Thanks for watching and stay safe, O's.
When we come back, we will look at how the Yes Film Festival boosts the popularity of independent films,
as well as an overview of this year's ocean science trip to Florida.
Good morning. Hi, I just forgot my lanyard today. I'll have to give you a sticker. Abby, has this happened before? Yes. How many times? This is my 4th time. Write your name on this list. Okay. And you will have lunch detention.
All right, everybody, lanyard check. Everybody good? Abby, where's your lanyard?
I got stickered.
Ugh, that is so embarrassing.
I can't eat them.
Yes Cinema held its annual film festival last month. The Yes Cinema Film Festival is when Yes Cinema gives its full attention to independent films. They invite people to come down and watch loads of films picked out by the event organizers. This gives amazing opportunities to the directors selected.
Near the end of October, Yes Cinema holds its annual film festival. This is a time where Yes Cinema brings attention to independent films, documentaries, and short films. Yes wants to show the creativity and diversity in these films that may not make it far in Hollywood.
I think it's a really, really important place to share ideas and to bring ideas that would not normally be out there on the screen. So, you know, I think independent film does that.
I would say that without independent films and short stories, there are many everyday and important stories that would go untold. The major studios have a tendency to gravitate toward the sensational, or they're looking for something that the greatest number of audience members would find exciting. They have a tendency to overlook a lot of stories that emphasize character development and relationship, and in the end, community.
The filmmakers thank YES for this opportunity. It's a way to get their film seen and receive feedback. Planning the event, however, takes a while, since picking out movies and decorating the location can take a long time. They do not mind, however, since they believe the end result is worth it.
What takes time and effort and professionalism that I don't necessarily have, and that is finding the films. I think there were 150 some entries this year, and I think we ended up showing 23 films.
I start looking at films probably in the spring. And I go to film festivals. I get lots of films, that I look at their lists and find them. And so I start looking, and I start inviting film and making contacts with filmmakers. I've spent hours and hours looking at films. I probably look at, this year, probably at least 150.
I have the big picture idea, but they're the ones that pull it together, and I couldn't do what they do.
If you want to attend next year, check YES Cinema's website over the next year for information on attending the film festival.
Now over to East Media's Riley Crotty for a look into this week's sports schedule.
Thanks, Kylie. Coming up, tonight the girls' JV basketball team plays at East Central High School, starting at 6 p.m. The varsity team will follow. Friday, the girls then host Mooresville High, 6 p.m. start time for JV, varsity to follow at 7:30. This weekend, boys JV wrestling participates in the JC Reserve Invitational at Jennings County High School. Their first match will start at 9:30, and girls wrestling will also compete at the JC Girls Invitational at the same time. And lastly, our boys varsity basketball kicks off their season with a scrimmage in the Orange Pit versus Roncalli High School. The game starts at 12 p.m. Be sure to go out and support our O's. That's all for sports. Back to you, Drew.
Over fall break, East Ocean Science class went to the Key Largo Marine Lab in Florida. They studied mangroves and microplastics and identified many different kinds of fish while scuba diving. The group of 20 had a blast on the trip. If you or someone you might know might be interested in ocean science or marine biology, then make sure to sign up for next year's ocean science next year. That's all we have time for today. From Kylie, Dirk, Riley, and myself, and the rest of the Torch TV crew, thanks for watching.
Make sure to take care of yourself, others, and the place. And as always, remember to be the best part of someone's day.